I have question 1, and I have to explain to what purpose Steinbach uses the setting in chapter 4. He describes his situation, and the setting is a further introduction to Crux, and Crux is black. He's more material possessions, he's richer and more permanent, and he's a stable bug, but he is also crippled, and he has no company, he's totally alone. And question 2, explain the meaning of the following quote. Sign of this is he's going crazy, it's insane, because he's alone, and it's hard for him to know the difference between reality and the dream world. He loses a grip of reality straight into a better dream world. That is a sign of schizophrenic.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then I will comment on Lenny's behavior during the conversation with Crux. At first he is Crux is defensive, and he's not used to friendly people, and the relationship between them during the conversation is equal, and then besides that, Crux he talks about George, that he might not return, and then Lenny he gets very worried, and that's the first time that we experience that Lenny he has worries too, and Crux find it a bit, I don't know, funny or so to keep mentioning that he might not come back.
Okay, then I'll do question 4. So how does Crux react to having visitors in the barn? And at first he gets very defensive, and he doesn't get very happy because he feels like Lenny's out of line of being in his, like in Crux's safe zone, where he feels that Crux feels that that's the only place where he has any rights, and that where he doesn't get judged. And he feels like that's kind of a safe zone for him. So he feels that Lenny is very out of line of being the other visitors as well. But then he kind of just like he kind of softens up and gets used to them being there. And then he doesn't mind very much, I think. Yeah.
Then I will answer question
5.
5.
Yeah.
And I will comment on the quote. And first, it seems like Crux is very pessimistic, but then he might just be realistic, and he promotes his knowledge by mentioning that he reads a lot of books, and instead of dreaming, he thinks that we should wake up and face reality, and the fact that when you dream about getting your own land, he hasn't experienced it he hasn't experienced that happened yet, so he don't think there is a chance.
Yeah. Okay. You say this. Thank you. And so, comment on the behavior of Curly's wife. She's all dressed up when she comes to the barn, and she has her lips are slightly parted, and she's breathing strongly. But she's acting very superior against the lot, and it seems like she feels that they are very inferior compared to her. She feels like she's above them. She also mentions that all the weak are left behind, while the others are in town. And it kind of seems like the three guys, they accept that they are inferior, because they kind of scowl down away from her eyes after she tells them that it's the weak ones that's left.
Yeah, and they became ashamed too.
Yeah, they became kind of
It's a bit
ashamed. Yeah,
embarrassing. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty much it.
Then would be question 2, and that's why has Steinbeck chosen to place
Question 7, right?
7? Yeah. What did I say?
2.
2. Sorry. To place Crux, Candy, Lenny, and Curly's wife together in the barn. What do they have in common? And first of all, they seem like outsiders. They all depend to someone. But first of all, they are all seeking for company, and they are all in danger to be left out. Lenny, he's dependent to George, and Curly's wife is dependent to Curly. That's why she's looking for him all the time. And then Candy, he was dependent to his dog, but now he's alone, so now he depends to Lenny and George. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And the final question is comment on Crux' final comment and behavior. And we kind of figured that, first of all, he said that that Candy should just forget what he said about joining them at the house. And we think that it's because that he was in this dream world when he sat in the barn with the others, but that bubble kind of burst when Curly's wife entered, and then he kind of went back to reality again, and that he went back to reality, and he figured that it probably wouldn't happen, them moving there anyway. So he thought that it would be better to just not set his expectations too high, so that he wouldn't be let down by it not happening.
So he doesn't dare to dream because he's
exactly.
too afraid of getting too disappointed.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got too disappointed too many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.